Welcome everyone to Health Coach TV. I'm your host, Dr. Shauna Menard, and I am here with the amazing Kristen Todoroff. Welcome, Kristen.
Hi, thank you. Good to see you, Dr. Shauna. Glad to be here.
We are going to have a great time here. And if any of you are struggling with menopause and all of its many shades that it comes in, you are definitely going to want to tune into this. Kristen is an expert in this. She helps you get back to your badass self. So we are going to dive right into it. Let me give you a proper introduction, Kristen. I'm so excited for what we're going to cover here today. A little bit different than what some people might have heard in previous menopause. You have a kind of a unique slant on that. So I'm excited about this. So Kristen helps women eliminate the debilitating symptoms of menopause, and they can be debilitating. And after starting to experience symptoms in her late 30s, Kristen felt like her body was out of her control. She didn't know how to manage the hot flashes, the mood swings, and weight gain. And when she made some shifts in her diet and her lifestyle, Kristen was able to overcome her menopausal symptoms and feel empowered and alive again. And she wants to help other women do the same. Kristen lives on beautiful Bangs Lake in Wauconda, Illinois. And welcome, Kristen.
Thank you so much.
Well, now here's the thing. So I know that you look like you're in your 30s. So this is the thing that is like, but imagine all of you out there, like in your 30s, to experience these symptoms. And now that's over a decade. I'm not going to, out her, but, she looks youthful, but more importantly, she feels youthful, and she's cracked the code on this menopause thing, and she helps other women do the same. So you're definitely going to want to tune in, grab a pen. So Kristen, tell everybody, what is it that you do?
I help professional women eliminate hot flashes and regain control of their bodies so they feel sexy, empowered, and alive, stepping into the next phase of womanhood.
Awesome. And we're going to talk about the importance of that next phase of womanhood in a little bit, and that's that unique slant that you have. Tell us a little bit about your journey. So 30s we know now that it does happen that early, but you had it like full on early. So tell us a little bit about your journey, your story. How is it that you are helping women with menopause now?
Sure. So growing up, I had really regular periods. I didn't really have any major issues like some of my friends did. Maybe some cramping and moodiness, but never, pretty regular cycle, nothing really out of the normal. So when I was around 38, my periods started getting very irregular. And I started getting like major anxiety and depression each month, like seemingly out of nowhere. I knew this was not a typical feeling for me. I didn't know what was going on, or no one I could talk to really to see if anyone else could relate. None of my friends were having any issues. I couldn't really talk to my mother about all this stuff because she didn't really remember even going through any of this. So I really felt very alone. So the first thing, I asked my doctor, my regular OB, and she said I was likely experiencing perimenopause, but I had no idea what that even was. So that was news to me. And she also suggested taking antidepressants, which that really wasn't something that I wanted to do. It wasn't the right solution for me. So yeah, I didn't even know what peri was, or that it could last for 10 years. I thought I just had to accept, like, I'm getting older and this is what women have to deal with. And I just felt very defeated. And my partner at the time, he didn't understand any of it. I mean, he was more in the dark than me. So it was we both were like, okay, am I going crazy? Like, what is going on? So a few years later, I started experiencing hot flashes, night sweats, and insomnia, which are kind of, the stereotypical, typical symptoms of menopause. Just very unpredictable, and they really started to affect me at work. So I was dreaded getting a hot flash during a meeting or being super emotional, not to mention being sluggish after a poor night's sleep. I really felt discouraged and unprofessional. My body really seemed like my enemy. I tried an herbal supplement, but that had some side effects that weren't great. I started working out more and going to yoga, but that didn't really help either. I just really felt like I was throwing darts at a dartboard with no answers out there. So for me, the turning point was just really realizing like I have to figure this out on my own, and empower myself to do so, because it's really affecting everything. I mean, my symptoms were in fact impacting every aspect of my life, my job, my relationships, my health. I wasn't in the mood for intimacy. I really felt ugly and unattractive. I either felt like crying at work or being paranoid about having embarrassing body odor after a hot flash. These symptoms just were not going to go away on their own, but I also knew that I could not keep going like this. In the words of Garth Brooks, I was much too young to feel this damn old. So I was on a mission.
Yeah.
I started doing research and discovered that it wasn't just about managing various menopausal symptoms, and it was in my control. I learned that there are so many factors that impact hormonal health, from the chemicals in your home and on your food to what types of workouts you do. And in our society, I mean, we're a fast food nation, really, in America. And it's really, I mean, all of that, there's, again, so many factors socially and just in general that people think, oh, this is okay. Well, there's a lot of things that really aren't okay. After years of researching and implementing small diet and lifestyle changes, I was finally free of the change, controlling my life. I no longer feel like ripping my clothes off during a hot flash, no more sweaty palms, monthly depression, or wondering if my clothes will fit this week. I finally feel like myself again and really embrace my body with open arms. I found my inner badass babe.
Yeah.
So now I'm on a mission. There are millions of women suffering needlessly out there who are being told that this is just what happens to women. It does not have to be this way. It's hard enough to climb the corporate ladder as a woman in this world. You don't need these symptoms weighing and wearing you down. So my mission is now to help women eliminate hot flashes and regain control of their bodies so they feel sexy, empowered, and alive, stepping into the next phase of womanhood.
I love it. So good. There's so much in there. I kind of want to just unpack. I mean, it's one thing to feel like that in your 50s, and it's a whole other thing to feel like that in your 30s. Like you don't want to, no interest in intimacy and feeling, ugly and and then it's when you're like trying to climb the corporate ladder in that phase of your life. You're not thinking about retirement. You're just getting started. And a lot of us are in working in a man's world sort of thing, and never let them see a sweat. How do you do that when you're going through menopause? So there's all of those layers, and then and just not feeling like you can talk to anybody, I think is another thing. So I mean, I know it took you a long time to sort of, you summarized it so well there, and it sounds like I did this, I got to take control of it, and now I am. But there was a journey, and it was trying all the usual things, like you said, I'm going to go to yoga. I'll try to do that. I'll try to do this, and I'll go to the doctor. They want to put me on antidepressants, and it's like, so it was a journey for you to be empowered and really take back control of your health. But in that process, you learned a few things. Tell us a little bit more about your journey. Like, how did you crack the code on this? What was it like? Tell us a little bit more. Let's dive into a little bit more on that.
Sure. So it all started with me experiencing irregularities in my cycle, combined with awful symptoms that I couldn't explain: monthly depression, anxiety, weight gain, low libido, hot flashes, night sweats, all that stuff. So realizing this was perimenopause and that it could last up to 10 years was very discouraging.
Yeah.
And I totally felt alone. I didn't know how to get help. The doctors were just recommending antidepressants and basically like, all right, here you go, good luck. Eventually, yes, I did figure out that there are ways to manage these symptoms naturally, and that so many factors in our diet and lifestyle that we choose can contribute to the severity of these symptoms. Stress is huge. I mean, stress messes with your body no matter what. Women, men, anything, menopausal or not, like stress is not good for us. It's not healthy. There are also just so many toxic chemicals and additives in not only just the foods that we eat, but household products, beauty products, cleaning products. I mean, everywhere. And it's kind of, for me, once you start, looking at the labels, you realize you can't unknow this information. And you kind of just get on that path where you're really, just educating yourself and uncovering all these hidden toxins. So that was a really huge thing for me. Nutrition, of course, like different foods can trigger symptoms being worse. So just picking and choosing, even healthy foods can trigger a hot flash, so to speak. So just educating myself and really digging through and peeling back the onion was super informative and helpful for me. And everyone's a little different. So it's definitely fine-tuning, finding out what really works for each individual person is huge. Because one size does not fit all, but some common things are definitely common denominators. So things can definitely become a vicious cycle as well. So like stress causes you not to sleep well, which can aggravate your hormones. Then you're tired, so that screws you up even more. And you're trying to perform at work and you're busy and you're exhausted, so you're moving a little slower. So you're grabbing Doritos out of the vending machine or something else, or a Diet Coke or something that maybe not the best choice, but you're desperate at this point and you can't really make those decisions properly. So you can see how that can really have a snowball effect. But the good news is the opposite can be true. As you start to dig and find out the root cause, the spin-off benefits can affect everything. So once you're sleeping better, eating better, you have more energy, which allows you to feel more positive and productive, decreases your stress. So you can see how kind of turning things around can have a positive snowball effect, which that was just huge for me to see it happen. Like literally, like, okay, change a couple things. Oh, I feel better. And so on and so on. The problem is most women don't know that they can do anything about it. And they're given Band-Aid pills or fad diets or other kind of quick fix things, which is another kind of issue in our society, I think, and probably everywhere across the world. We want something fast. We want like a quick solution and a quick fix, but that's not always true. So most people don't realize how positive healing momentum can really be amazing, and they just don't know where to even start in the first place. So for me, my symptoms are gone after about 10 years of perimenopause. I'm officially over the hump, with officially out of menopause now, and I feel great. I don't have any symptoms anymore. I really now feel empowered and in control of my body and my life. I broke free from all the debilitating symptoms of menopause. My relationships are better. I'm closer than ever with my partner. I mean, our intimacy level is fantastic. So just every part of my life, I'm happy and loving life, and no more having to go to the store to buy feminine products in an emergency situation.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Oh, so good. So it's really quite the 180 in your life. So from some really sort of desperate, dark, anxiety provoking, exhausted state to this now really great. So is that why you decided to become a health coach? Was it this journey of yours that led you on this path in the first place?
Yes, absolutely. I just really felt like if I would have had just somebody that knew what I was going through to even just confide in, even not that they necessarily could have solved my problem, but just having someone that could relate, and that compassion would have been amazing. Because I just really felt so alone, and my partner didn't know what to do. He thought I was crazy, but it really, I think that was just and starting at such a young age, I never expected that to happen. I figured, in my 50s, maybe even later, I'm not even going to have to deal with this. So years of trial and error to figure it out and manage it. I want other women to be able to get a handle on it and get to the other side without spending years and years to do so. So just they can turn their health around in just a few months if they know where to start.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about how you, and I love that you can do it in months instead of years. That's a good thing. And that you can get on the other side of it. And that's so inspiring for women who might feel like there's nothing that they can do and all hope is gone and so on. So you're giving hope to many women, and this is really great. So tell us a little bit about how do you work with your clients? Like, how does that work? How, what's the process?
Sure. So most of my clients are professional women who are struggling to get control of their menstrual and hormonal imbalance symptoms, regain control of their life, and find confidence in their own body. They want to naturally manage their menopausal symptoms and feel sexy, confident, and in control of their mood and their life. So I walk them step by step through a program from hot mess to badass. I work with them very closely, primarily virtually, so it's easy for anyone, anywhere. There's plenty of accountability and support, but also they know exactly what to do to get on the other side of this. The most important thing is that we get rid of these symptoms and they take back control of their body and their life. Back to the badass babe that they truly are.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So when I'm talking to experts on Health Coach TV, and you're exposed, well, usually, not always, but often you personally have experienced the symptom and then and the situation. And then now you're helping others. And as you're sort of immersed in this, you become this expert in this field. I always like, from now your perspective from the solution side as to maybe the problem side where many of us, would be at. What are some of the, from your new vantage point, you're like, there's some myths out there when it comes to this topic. So from your perspective now, having helped women through that, yourself and others, what are some of the biggest myths that are out there when it comes to trying to eliminate menopausal symptoms?
I think the biggest myth is that we don't have control of our bodies, and we just have to accept this as part of getting older and aging, which the opposite is so true. We don't have to depend on just drugs or Band-Aid fixes. There's another way to do it. So also, we are not alone. Like, so many women are struggling. I'm in Facebook groups where it's amazing because people are so grateful to have a community where they can just, ask for tips or advice, or just really again, knowing someone else is going through the same thing or similar that you are, that makes such a difference mentally and just, emotionally, to have that support. So many women are just struggling in silence without support, and they don't know where to even start to make any changes.
Yeah. The work you do is so important. And I know, sometimes women will say, well, menopause isn't a disease. It's a natural, way of living. And that might be true. Like, it might be a natural phase of life. And should we be able to sail right through without symptoms? Yeah. Are we? No. So the thing is, if it wasn't for the 80,000 some chemicals in use today that weren't there when our mothers went through and grandmothers went through menopause, that they weren't in that same scenario. If it wasn't for the fact of the stress load that is on many women, especially professional women, but all women, like, stress comes into, but you're CEO of a company, you're running things, and to have those stressors, I know myself, when I was working as a physician, I was as a doctor in Calgary, and then I would fly back home to Kelowna. So I would fly to work and me, same body, same age, same diet, same person on, this part of the week when I was in the clinic, lots of stress here and there. I would get my hot flashes. I couldn't sleep. Fly back home where I was just health coaching, but not doing my doctor job, no hot flashes. And it was stunning to see in the moment effect of that stress. So yes, are there cultures and situations where people don't have that? Yeah, but millions and millions of women are suffering and in silence. And so for them to know that they don't have to just suck it up and try to endure, white knuckle it for the next decade or more, that there are things that you can do. And I just love, because it's not just about that. It's also about also about, youthful aging and vitality and all of that. It's about, being your best self, and your brand is kind of like badass babe. So I love that, like just, empowering women, which really brings me to that next part of your mission. And at the beginning, you talked about something like, helping women be sexy and alive as they step into that next phase of womanhood, or something like that. About why is embracing this next phase of womanhood important?
Well, almost every woman experiences menopausal symptoms at one of some kind at some time in their lives. Women are living longer. Everyone's living longer. So chances are there's going to be a good amount of your life left after menopause.
Yeah.
It's also been very much of a taboo topic that many women view as a mystery, and can't talk about it. So instead, it's important for women to realize that we're all in this together. No one is alone. We need to embrace the change and appreciate everything that our bodies have done for us so far. This is not our mother's menopause, like you said. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and knowing we can take the power back and manage our health is hugely empowering.
Yeah, I love that. So that's fantastic. What are some tips that you can share with our viewers? There's someone out there, they're struggling with menopause. They're like, where do I start? What can I do? What are some tips that you can share with our viewers?
Sure. So first, I would say own your body. It's our body. It's no one else's. We have control. We have control over what we consume, what we, anything what we put on our skin. All of that is within our control. We can make those choices. Society is slowly starting to recognize that women over 30 are sexy. We have knowledge and insight based on our life experiences, and we are fierce. And it's okay to be selfish. We, as women, must prioritize our health and happiness so we can be the best partner, the best mother, colleague, our best selves for us. Find your tribe of like-minded soul sisters instead of looking at other women as competition. Some other easy tips, like drinking more water, that's going to help your skin. That's going to just, again, flush toxins from your body, just kind of keep everything running smoothly. Make time for self-care. This is huge, because until I was on this own personal journey of my own, I really, you think, ooh, woo woo, self-care. Well, I don't have time to get massages every week or whatnot. It doesn't have to be something extravagant. It can literally be, take time, 15 minutes a day where no distractions. You do what you want to do. Read a book, walk, meditate, nap. Anything that is going to kind of recharge your batteries and make you feel a little bit better in your own skin. Assess your relationships too. I think this is something that I feel like as women, we're a little more vulnerable to being people pleasers to others and kind of just taking on stress of other people, which it's hard to avoid, but just really looking at your relationships and which relationships are healthy for you. And some we are out of our control. These people are going to be in our lives no matter what, but just realizing how it affects you emotionally and stress level, and kind of setting boundaries so you can protect your own energy and not absorb others that might have negative energy. That's a huge way you can really keep your stress levels down.
Really great tips, really great practical tips, and that make a difference. So it's so much more than just food, for example.
Absolutely.
That's one thing, but there's all of these other factors. And I think that was the one sort of aha. It's like, it's kind of like a whole approach. When you've been working with clients, all the time when I'm talking to health coaches, when they'll go after whatever the main thing is, whether it's, whatever their issue is, and in this case, menopause, and, helping soothe that. But as they help with that one thing, there's some spin-off benefits that people experience. And these are always my favorite stories, because, the spin-off unintended great consequences of, doing this is really kind of fun. So do you have any examples of like what kind of spin-off benefits have you seen with some of your clients?
Well, in addition to reducing and eliminating menopausal symptoms, many clients have experienced a lot of really great side effects. They're more self-aware, mindful of their thoughts, actions, and lifestyle choices. Many have improved their physical fitness level, their self-confidence, and especially their self-love. That's a huge one. One of my clients, she was menopausal and had a lot of stress-related symptoms that were aggravated by some of her relationships. After working together, not only did she get relief of her symptoms, she now has been able to cultivate a closer, deeper relationship with her husband. And she also knows how to reduce exposure to other toxic people in her life. And that was robbing her of joy and aggravating her symptoms. She has peace around this situation now, and all of that is even more important to her than the physical symptoms that she had been experiencing. Another client of mine was going through menopause, but also had a lot of gut issues, bloating, just digestion, elimination issues, just a lot of things. And she really didn't know why. She felt trapped by her gut symptoms and always worried and nervous about going out and doing something or being, far from a bathroom. So we cleaned up her diet. We narrowed down things that were toxic for her and customized her diet just for her. She ended up healing her gut and got rid of her bloating and all of her other gut issues. She lost weight. And most of all, she was able to resume an active life without having to worry where the next bathroom was or if she was going to be sick. So a huge life shift for her.
So good. Yeah, that's exactly what I was, envisioning or imagining. And as you talked about relationships before, and that was important for you. And then it's a spin-off benefit for others. And relationships can be really wonderful, but they can also be a source of stress. And some of them, whether it's family members or whether it's coworkers or a boss or something, like sometimes that it is as it is. But it's a part of the stress that's aggravating the menopause. And then we get into that vicious cycle that you were talking about before. And so as you improved, interestingly enough, as you improve the menopause symptoms and soothe that, the spin-off, the positive spin-off benefit of the great relationship, that in itself would be worth it for a lot of people, because they're like, I gotta live with this, but how do I do that? And so just knowing how to protect themselves, manage their energy, get those clear boundaries, not in a confrontational way, but in a soothing, loving way that kind of just dissolves this, problem. And then the gut health is huge, whether people are in menopause or not, and to be able to help them get their energy back, improve their gut health so that they can go out, enjoy a healthy social life. Huge, immense. So yeah, really fantastic, awesome work that you're doing, Kristen. Thank you for shining your light. I know you did it the hard way, but now you can take that out there and be that loving leader to help others. If people want to connect with you, maybe they have questions, maybe they're like, hey, that sounds all good, but here's my situation, or can you tell me more about how I can get relief? This is a great start, but I want more. How can people connect with you or ask questions?
So my website is bewell360.com. They could read my story and download a free copy of my Badass or Hot Mess starter kit. They can also book a call to chat with me in person. I'd love to answer any questions they might have. I know how alone you can feel on this journey, and it doesn't have to be this way. So I'm here for you.
Awesome. That's great. So that is bewell360.com. So BE well, the number 360.com. So bewell360.com. So check it out. Are you on social media at all, Kristen?
Yes, I am. And I am on Facebook and also Instagram. And both of those are BEWELL 360 Holistic Health.
Okay, Be Well 360 Holistic Health. You can check her out on social media as well. Easiest way just to directly connect, regardless of whether you're on social media or not, is bewell360.com. Thank you so much, Kristen, again, for the work that you do, for spending time with us, for answering some questions and shining a little light on this subject that sometimes people feel is taboo, and just letting them know that there's hope and they can get on the other side of it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Awesome. Well, that is it for this episode of Health Coach TV. If you like this episode, feel free to like and subscribe for more episodes of Health Coach TV. If you have a question or a concern or a topic that you would like discussed, feel free to pop that in the comments. I'm always looking to see what matters to you, what health issues are you wanting to know about, and I'll round up an expert on that topic. With that, have a fantastic week, and of course, be good for you.